Well, we are back.
Yes, indeed.
We are back live and in living color.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Welcome. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world, to another episode of Cultivating Conversations with DP².
Mhm.
Happy Tuesday. I'm your host, Deja, along with my amazing co-host,
DeAndre Parker. We are back in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
We are back. And we are so excited for everyone to be joining us for this amazing conversation.
Mhm.
Everyone's going to be here live, and those who watch after the fact, we love you all. We are very appreciative of all the support that we have. I just want us to notch for 1 second, like the amazing month of June that we had when it comes to the podcast. Like, we really made some great strides.
Definitely.
And that's all because of the support that we get from y'all, the dedication we have to continue on.
Yes.
I just want us to, because I think we're always looking like, okay, how can we be better? But we didn't think about, we had a great month last month.
We did have a great
month.
Great guests, great information, great people that joined on. So,
hello. Hey, Stephanie.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, so, I mean, it was good. I guess, like I say, happy first of the month. I know them bills probably done knock people over the side of their head, but this is a time to, I guess, relieve a little bit of stress. But happy July. How you feeling?
Thank you. I'm feeling good for the 1st of July. Keep pressing. Yes, indeed. Everybody got to keep pushing. One step forward is some motion. So, it's better than nothing. But I'm doing well, though. 1st of the month, I'm feeling good. It's like, midpoint way in the year?
Yep, midway through the year, y'all.
Already. So, it's been a good 6 months so far. Well, technically, 5, right? Well, no, it's been 6 to 7. Yes, it's been a good 6 months. Yes. So, what about you?
No, I think I've been good too. I've been really good. I think I've been in like a great headspace. I just try to stay inside because it's so hot outside. But outside of the heat, like just in general, I think everything's been great. I'm in a great place and looking forward to the rest of the year. To be honest.
Good. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Me too. Period. But I mean, I guess I wanted to ask first of all, this title of this episode is called Mid-Year Review because I don't know if people like at their jobs have to do a mid-year review.
Yeah, sometimes majority.
Like you get a performance. People want to like say, okay, how have you been doing? What can you improve on? We were like, well, let's do one for the world in the United States.
Yeah. Like, what do we think about it?
Exactly. It's been a long 6 months.
It definitely has. And I hope everybody today also, before we get started, can weigh in their own opinions as well. Maybe ask some of these questions to themselves and see, what do they think that they can do, or what do they think has been going on? How they can navigate and everything. So it's going to be fun for sure.
Yeah, I agree. So have you been paying attention or tapped into like what's been happening currently or just the past year?
It's like, can you not really, it's like the news has been one hitter quitters every single day.
Yeah.
It feels like it's always something going on, always something for people to discuss. It's just a lot of craziness. So I haven't paid attention to the news, not necessarily every second of my life, but I have been reading some sources, watching some clips. It's not like I'm sitting in front of the news watching David Muir every day, but
CNN all day.
I try to be informed, generally. What about you, though?
To be fair, like, I really haven't.
Do you think people say the news is depressing? You think so?
It is.
But it's the truth.
But you need, I think that's a sorry excuse to not be tapped in.
I agree.
But I think when I'm thinking, I feel like I've been in such my own bubble that I haven't really been like, oh, let me make sure I'm updated on what's happening. If I don't see it while I'm scrolling on social media, I don't think that I've like really informed myself as much as I probably should. Or if I see like such and such said this, I'm like, I don't even want to see what they've been talking about. But that's not.
It's a lot of negativity. It's a lot of fear mongering that goes on. People try to intimidate us through the news, and I think that's what a lot of people. It comes from being uneducated. People just decide, well, I don't even want to look at or watch because maybe it doesn't pertain to them, or maybe they're fearful. So it's like the news is a weird because the news is controlled by these higher people,
larger corporations.
So it's like you have to be mindful of what information you're taking in.
Yeah, like filter through it for
Definitely,
sure.
Yeah.
I agree with that. But if we it's July 1st, but if we think back to a couple of things that happened this year, and definitely let us know some things y'all remember happening in 2025.
It's a blur.
It definitely is a blur. But do you remember when like TikTok got banned?
Man. It was, first of all, that was the most stressful.
For 2 seconds.
12 hours of everybody's life, the TikTok ban. I mean, they're still discussing, similar bands coming around, but there's like, are they going to do it? Are they not?
So I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's just like, I don't know. It's uncertainty.
I totally forgot about that. Then like the California wildfires, which actually was pretty insane, but I just feel that no one, I mean, I know we're on the East Coast and maybe this might not be true, but I feel like no one's even, like, we don't really hear about that anymore.
It's like a blow, but I think because it happens so often.
But that one was so bad, though. Like, that was so bad.
It was a lot of destruction. And all the famous people that got affected, you would think it'd be more coverage still going on. Maybe it is, but I just haven't seen nothing. I haven't seen anything.
No, so that was, I totally, and then and they still are debating about this, even if these women even went to space, but I mean.
Katy Perry. What's the Gail? They never went. That's my
wasn't it like Jeff Bezos' now wife?
Yeah, that's my conspiracy theory. Yeah, they never went.
Yeah, so that's a whole thing. But I'm just saying, all this stuff happened in like 6 months span that I honestly forgot before we started being like, okay, what happened in 2025? And then
I know heavy thing right now is the Gaza war. With Israel. Yeah, and that has trickled down to now Iran and Israel, U.S. and Iran. It's like a whole bunch of conflicts going on just because of what started at the beginning of the year. So I think you do have to remember what has inflicted a lot of these issues.
That is true, because you kind of forget like that one thing can lead to another. I know. See, I personally don't shop on like Shein and stuff. Shein, is it Shein or Shein? People say different. Shein. I hate when people say Shein. Is that how you say?
Yes.
Okay. Or Fashion Nova, whatever, which I'm not knocking it, but I'm just saying, I know them terrorists was smacking people across the face with with all that, because I was even scared to online shop at certain places, because I'm like, I ain't trying to get hit with them terrorists. But I
think one day, not us, but maybe it probably is some articles out there. But how have these bills and laws have been passed, or the terrorist stuff has affected our day-to-day life in 6 months? You know what I mean? Because it's like it has to have some type of effect on us,
especially small businesses who rely on
who rely on these like traders that are overseas, or if I seen a lot of manufacturers of clothes that run small business like Trinket Items that had a lot of problems with manufacturers because of the tariffs. So it's like it's a lot going on, y'all.
It is. Groceries are super high. The way they would have signs at the grocery store that say only buy a dozen of eggs at a time, or whatever they would say, because the eggs were so high. Yeah, you only could buy a certain amount,
which is crazy.
Yeah, that was insane. I know, even we have a few people I know who work in the federal government, and a lot of them thought they was never going to go back to the office, but child, they got them going back to the office. Some people lost their job. I mean, it was just a lot.
It was a lot.
It was a lot, but you know.
6 month review. I don't know what's going to happen in the next 6.
I mean, let's think. What were some good things though? Let's put some good things in the chat. What's some good things that happened in 2025
so far?
I feel like this year seemed like it was the most amount of people celebrating Juneteenth that I've seen in the amount of time that I've paid attention to it. Some people have celebrated for years and years and years, but like nationally on my Instagram, I mean, some of these celebrations and parties and events, I thought that was really cool.
That is true. That's nice. Yeah, Juneteenth, that just passed as well.
Yeah, that just passed.
That's nice.
I'm trying to think something else though that happened.
Drop some good things in the chat. I'm trying to think. I mean, we could bring up the graduation stuff that we was talking about past podcasts.
Yeah, a lot of people graduated this year, high school, college, middle school, elementary. That was really nice to see too. I mean, that happens every year, of course, but it's still a great time of the year.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, so what are your thoughts on the state of the world now? What are y'all thoughts? I mean, we had a lot of family you know what? Let's pause.
Go ahead.
Let's shout out the graduates for a second. I think we did it all podcast already. And I don't care. I'm going to say it again. I don't care. Shout out to, what's the order of this? Who graduated first? I think Devin graduated first, right? Shout out to our cousin Devin. Then Deanna, you graduated.
Yes.
Then I graduated.
Yes.
If I miss anybody, let me know. But those are people in our immediate circle. So shout out to the graduates in the chat.
Definitely.
But continue.
Okay, let's debunk.
What is your thoughts on the state of the world today? Like,
I think one word that can summarize my thinking right now is uncertainty. I think 2 words actually: uncertainty and conforming. Those are my two. Those are my 2 words: uncertainty and conforming.
Who's conforming?
I think we all are.
Oh.
I think our worriness of uncertainty. Congratulations, Jess. Thank you. I think everyone's uncertainty has made them want to conform to what's going on day to day. It's like I feel like our creativity levels, and maybe this is placebo. Our creativity levels are naturally being lowered every day. Entrepreneurship is being lowered every day. Even though we see so many people doing these things, I think that the majority of us have to go out and do what's necessary to just provide.
Don't even get me started on that.
You know what I mean? A lot of people's dreams can't come to fruition at this point in time due to the fact that you got to do what's necessary.
Yeah.
That's what I believe. I think we are all conforming in a way because it's like we don't really have any other options.
Yeah, I agree. Because when you say that, like I always had plans to like, well, yeah, there are things that I feel like I've planned out in my personal life that feel kind of almost impossible in a sense because of the state of where we are today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, for example, I just feel like I always wanted to like move out on my own and travel internationally and do different things that I just feel that can still be accomplished, but it's a lot harder. Maybe due to like there being bans on different places that you can travel.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like, because I've seen that. I didn't even see what the list of the countries, but there's certain countries on the list that like the president wants to ban or not having the money to, like, I haven't been able to see as many of my friends because of the fact that it's so costly to do the things you want to do in your personal life. So I just feel that has really affected. I guess it's a sense of conforming. Like you kind of just be like, well, I can't do this. I got to just keep working. I got to keep doing stuff I don't really enjoy. You know?
Yeah. One thing I wanted to actually bring up to you was, do you think that it has always been like that?
You know what? If you ask certain people, they probably would say yes. Because some people, I was watching a podcast and the guy, he lives in New York, and he was like, do you know that the people who are campaigning for certain things for mayor now are the same things they were campaigning for years ago when he was like a kid?
That's crazy.
Just to show you that it's the same issues in New York City. It's the same. Of course, things have gotten better or worse or whatever. But when you really sit and think, you'd be like, dang, has a lot really changed?
And that's a open, honest conversation that I think needs to happen. I don't think a lot of things have changed because I think, you know, we'll get into how we feel about, you know, racism later, but a lot of things are still the same as they were. A lot of issues are still prevalent that were happening in the past. And I think this conforming, and even sometimes I feel this way, is like, you want to get to a certain point in your life where you have financial freedoms like you were talking about, but you have to do the necessaries to get there.
Yeah.
And I feel like even if you want to describe it as, you know, just being hardworking, I feel like some conversations, it just feels like conforming.
Do you think it's age though? Do you feel that
like being young or being older?
Being older. I think maybe I'm feeling like this because I'm older now. Like if you would have asked me maybe 3 years ago, all the income I was making only had to go towards vacation or being with my friends.
True.
But the older you get, you have more things you're trying to.
Yes, I definitely think that's do it. I think majority of Americans that are around your age want to be financially free, but don't have the capabilities due to the fact of these limited options that are going on. It's hard to build savings when you got to spend your money on everything. You know what I'm trying to say?
When I tell you,
it's hard to build something when you have to put your money towards something every single paycheck, and you trying to withstand some money, but you can't. So it's like, you're right. I think that's why I'm trying to, at my age, trying to beat that, because I see what could potentially happen if I didn't have a support system that we do have. And a lot of Americans don't.
They don't.
So they're going to end up being, you know, just paycheck to paycheck.
Literally, or having to get multiple jobs. Yeah. Because I even saw something on Instagram right before we started potting, and it said that this is like the highest rate of unemployed graduates in like,
let's talk about it,
in years, or maybe ever. I'm not sure if ever, but in years.
I'm not surprised.
And when I think about the people that I know, or in my program, or this proximity, or when I talk to other college students, it's like, that kind of sounds pretty accurate.
Yeah, and I know we're going to get into financial stuff, but you think about how you come out of school in debt and you can't find a job. It's like, bruh, then if let's say, thankfully, but majority of people have a lot of other payments to pay.
Yeah.
And if it's a car, if it's an apartment, if it's food or whatever. So you do all that on top of, I can't get a job. I just graduated school.
Have that.
And I'm still trying to create some savings for down the road. It's impossible.
It's impossible.
You know?
It feels impossible.
It feels impossible. It feels impossible. So you're right. 100% right. Yes. It's like.
And like switching gears a little bit, do you think that it's even safe to travel internet? Like,
I don't think so. And I think it comes down to, yes, the bills and rules that are in place, but it's coming also like profiling is at an all-time high.
That's what I'm thinking. That like I don't even know if I feel safe to just frolic the streets of France as an American, because you don't know the different tensions that might exist.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I was just like, these world leaders, we are the consequences of their words.
Yes,
you know literally. What I mean? Like we're just citizens, but what they're saying to these countries or what they're going to do to them, and then they see an American in their country like that. Now we have to face that those problems. So it's like I wouldn't feel comfortable traveling to, of course, certain places. I know a lot of places are American friendly, of course.
Yeah,
but like you said, it's like profiling at an all time high, and it's already hard when you feel me. So it's like. I feel you on that though. Yeah. I mean, what do y'all think? Because I mean, there's a lot of places that I've always dreamed of being, going, and exploring, but I'm just like, man, I don't even know if. I mean, of course, we know even in America it ain't that safe, but it's just the fact of knowing that you try to go somewhere internationally and you don't know. Yeah, like we're all generalized Americans. Yeah, seriously, like, especially if we're minorities, is even worse. So it's like being a Black American going to another country, I think that's just too risky. Risky right now. Actually, bringing that up, I want to ask you, because I think this is a weird topic. I'm laying low. Yeah, I'm laying low. Yeah, facts. This is a weird thing that I feel like it's still so consistent, but like America's built on the ideals of freedom, equity, equality. That's what it's supposed to be. And 4th of July is in a few days. It is. And that's what it's all about, right? Independence Day. But we're so deeply rooted still in racism. Like if you bring up the DEI stuff that happened earlier this year. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, we talked about that. They basically replaced, I don't know what to say, but the N word for DEI. Yes. DEI, that's a DEI hire. DEI, like that was literally, that was crazy. But the ICE raids, like again, which is still happening. It's still happening. The profiling with the ICE stuff, and then the university, they was trying to take specific information out of university to teach certain curriculum. And I want to just ask you, if we're built on that, why is that still a foundation in America? Like, what do you think? Because in the same vein of America supposed to be built on freedom, I don't think it was ever in the space of without capitalism. Like, I don't think they ever was. That's like, a great point. Yes. And freedom to them meant more capital. Yes. Like, yes. Because in this world, you are more free if you have more money, in the sense of like America. Yeah. You know what I'm trying? Like the ideals in America. So that's why I think, and the only way to have power is to have somebody beneath you. And the people they choose to be beneath them. That's a great point. Like capitalism, like in its own, like it has to be some social division. Has to be some monetary division. Everyone cannot, even though the idea of equality is based on like we're talking everyone's equal regardless of skin tone and stuff. But it has to be some division socially, monetarily, for there to be somebody at the top, somebody at the bottom. And I think as division prospers, it's easier to conquer us as people. Like if there's less unity, then the people who are really the oppressors are hidden. Yeah, because the people down here too busy fighting. We're each other's oppressors when really we should all be. Yes, you would think. And so when I even think about people that I used to read, like James Baldwin or people who really were already talking about this stuff years ago, how do you still have a great life knowing that these are things that exist? Like you can't always be depressed or sad about the realities of living in this country. So how can you just still be like, okay, you know what? I'm still going to choose to enjoy my life, because that's what people have had to do forever. Like it's like you always have the mindset like you have to beat the odds. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's not something that we should have to do. Yeah, it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling to have to think of being the odds, but truthfully, to live a good life, it's about the people that you surround yourself with at the end of the day. Like, yeah, that's true. It sucks to say because we're such a minuscule part in life. Like, like we're a blink in a billion, you know what I mean? Like it's like literally a snap in time. So I think it's about just relishing in the moments, regardless of what's going on around you. And that's a sad thing to say. Yeah. But it's like for years we've been trying to beat the oppressor. For years we've been trying to band together. And of course I still think there's strides to get prayer and great relationships. Yes, that's very true. Yeah. But I think ultimately you have to live in the moment. You really do. You have to practice gratitude and live in the present. Yes. Like If you sit around all day thinking about what's going on, it's like people have been doing that forever.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying don't turn a blind eye, because then now you turn into a bystander, which is even worse.
That's even worse, to make it like to be oblivious to stuff.
Be oblivious to what's going on. But definitely the state of the, like, to end off on this a little bit, like, I just seen such an incline in racism and discrimination online and just in person, and it just seems like it's becoming a lot more normalized, and I just cannot understand why this is going on. But I think that it starts from the top, and now, like I said, we got everybody else fighting, while really the people that's really brewing all this up
is, everybody need to watch that movie on Netflix, Don't Clone Tyrone.
Yes.
And this will explain what we're trying to say. Just mark my words. Great. Yes. It's a little champ. Like it could be a little bit of acting, I will say. But it is informative. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. Yeah, it is. But so in that tone, do you believe that the American dream still exists?
No. There's no more American dream, because it was supposed
Forget that.
And I understand the American dream was rooted on hard work. I get that, but people are working hard and not getting nothing.
I work my fingers to the bone for 2 cents an hour,
right, and not getting nothing. There have been families in the past, and I know this maybe not, super, like, it happens a lot, but people start working in the mills, working in coal mines, and their family is wealthy now. Like, they started from back then.
Really? Well,
I'm saying like a lot of families have started from the American dream, and now their family are generationally well. I'm saying that's not happening no more. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't come into this country or come out of college and just expect to start from the bottom and really make your way to the top.
You cannot. Because when I watched that daggone Martha Stewart documentary, and she came from very humble beginnings, very, very humble beginnings. Ended up being able to go to college, met a guy on campus who happened to be pretty wealthy, but then her life just took off. So it's like, in her life story, she really did come from, her father, they really struggled. Like, they really worked very, very hard. But then went from that to like where she is today. It's like, that ain't how it's going for most people. First of all, what are the odds you find the right person in college? What are the odds you are placed in the right position?
Not realistic.
What are the odds somebody, you just walking down the street, they say you look beautiful, you should model? Like, those are things that happen to her, but that's just not realistic.
It's not.
People work hard their whole life. I went to college. I didn't meet no wealthy man.
It's not realistic. The American dream is just not a realistic. It's. I think it's just a way to sustain life. You can come here and work hard, and you'll sustain. A regular.
You'll get by.
You'll get by. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get by.
The dream it once was, not anymore.
No, not at all.
Is that a bad thing?
No, I don't think. Well, I don't think a bad thing in the sense of like, your dream should be what you make it, because at the time it was, the white picket fence, the house, this, that, but everyone has their own definition of what their dream is. So I think that's the cool part about it. But honestly, like, I think it sucks because we should all be able to strive for that. Like, we should all be able to say, like, if I work hard, I'll get this. But that's just not how it. I mean, it's never really been like that for everybody anyway. But
it's never. But I feel like now it's definitely not.
Yeah. Speaking of money and speaking of finances, do you feel like you'll be able to have the life that you want for yourself in this economy?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think I'm very optimistic. I'm an optimistic person.
I think that's good.
I think that at this age, I'm 22, and it's like I have the opportunity to make the most of the situation I'm in right now. I'm at home. I'm barely, not to put business, but I don't really have to pay for anything, to be honest. So it's like, if I get in the right position, I think that I can stack where I need to be. Of course, I have school debt, which is normal. But I do think that in this economy, it is not in a good position. And in general for a lot of people, but I think I just in a good situation outside of that to potentially stack and do something that I want. Y'all better so you can take care of me.
Oh gosh. I mean, but you know what?
That's right though. That's right.
I think the beauty of like having certain parents is like, they work hard. They've worked hard to have the things that they have now, so that at least your kids won't have to go through the same sort of obstacles, even though our obstacles are different now. Yeah. Because we're still navigating, trying to figure stuff out. But at least because our parents or certain people's parents did what they had to do prior, we're able to like figure out life in a way that's not survival. It's more so we can think of it in a sense of like truly trying to thrive instead of it just being we have to do this to survive.
Yeah, I think a lot of people aren't living comfortably though.
No.
I think a lot of people. I know a lot of people are struggling, especially a lot of.
I wish I could go to Sephora every day.
Yeah, I'm dead. A lot of people's Social Security and Medicaid and Medicare is being taken away. So it's like, again, back to that word uncertainty is like people don't feel financially stable. People with children, people that got spouses, or it's tough living in these big cities and don't you know what I mean? So for me though, personally, I think that hopefully I have the opportunity, like we said, to take advantage of capitalism. Hopefully, but right now though, financially stable, it's hard to even think about to be stable.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And shout out to the people who are figuring it out and have figured it out.
Yeah, man.
Let us know. Because a lot of people are just trying to like, what they say, you gotta rob Peter to pay Paul. You know what I'm saying? It's like
rob Peter to pay Paul.
Like you gotta somebody explain it in the chat. To the top. Like I don't feel like explaining.
Okay,
but yeah.
Second to last, this is just a general question. I want people in the chat to answer too. This current state, 6 months in.
Yeah.
And just think about maybe in the past, but right now, how much power do you believe that you really have individually, collectively, to potentially influence change in the country? What do you think?
Man, I think if I'm looking in a small radius, I feel like we have a lot of power. I genuinely do. I think people want us to think we don't.
Yeah.
I think people want us to feel like stuff is too like grand for us to even be able to like make a dent of change. But honestly, I feel like if you just start small, you might potentially see the ripple effects of the change you could potentially make. But I feel like because the world is so crazy right now, you got to just try to focus on maybe the things you can do in your arm's length, in a sense, in your life, instead of trying to be down about the fact that you might not be able to change what's happening in the world totally. But so I feel like
incremental.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, in our lifetime, there's not a lot that can, like, some people work their whole lives for a certain cause and won't see the benefit, or they won't see. But it's about
progress, though.
Yeah, but it's like about the small progress that you can make. So I mean,
that's very true.
It's like yes and no.
That's very true. To piggyback off that, I do think that we do have some type of unity, and I do believe that we do have the influence to change. And that people be protesting every single day.
They do, man.
Everywhere, every single day. And I really commend them for that.
It's a protest even if you at work and you advocated for yourself. Like, it's so small, and that's such a minuscule example. I'm just saying everything is not like being on the front lines. Like, you could just be like, nah, I know that my grandfather wouldn't have been able to get this college degree. That's my sense of protesting. Like, this is my way of saying I'm going to be better than what people think I can be.
True.
Like, it don't even have to always look the same. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you gotta think to yourself, what does protest look like for myself? What does change look like for myself? Like, you don't have to be at the White House throwing pitchforks at the lawn. Like, if that's not who you are as a person.
You can still do stuff though. You don't have to be a bystander. That's a fact.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So if you had to think about this, what grade would y'all give the United States on their mid-year review? If it's between A and F?
After everything we just discussed?
I try to think of some positive things that happened this year, but honestly, it's just,
I think it's an F, man.
You think it's an F? The United States gets an F?
They failed 6 months in.
Jeez Louise.
They failed 6 months in.
If you ask the TikTok influencers, they got a B+.
B+. I'm just trying to think of all the possibilities of what it could have been. Like, I'm just saying what it like this. I think this is like, how you get probabilities in life. Like, Doctor Strange, sorry to bring this up, but in the Avengers movie, he went through 1 billion possibilities.
Yes.
And only one was them winning, was Tony Stark dying, whatever. I feel like we're in that one. Like, we got the worst outcome.
It's like out of the million examples, versions of this universe, why did it have to be this one?
It's just, like, even if,
why couldn't it be Kamala Harris with her long masculine skirts?
Even if,
well, she don't wear skirts, she wears pantsuit.
Like,
anyway.
even if either president, right? I still think it's still the worst outcome.
Yeah,
right?
regardless.
These 6 months have been tough.
It has been.
It's just been a lot of bad things that's been transpiring. A lot of uncertainty going on. It's just you don't know what's gonna happen next. It's crazy.
That's so true, DeAndre. So hopefully this 6 months we can.
But what was your rating?
Oh, I give it like a D+. I would have gave it something a little better if it wasn't. This global warming is out of control.
Yeah, it's dumb hot.
So I give it a D for that. It would have been a little higher if it wasn't kicking us like this. Like the way we've been sweating is insanity.
It's terrible.
So I mean, hopefully the next 6 months we'll do a year-end review.
Yeah, no.
Join us for our year-end review in December. Or I guess we could do it either December or January. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
but
true. Maybe end of December. Yeah,
end of December. So we're not carrying that mess into the next year. But I mean, let's just all try to like if it can't be something in the world that we can't change, at least try to do something good in your own life.
That's the go cultivate.
That's the go cultivate because it's kind of like stuff is gonna always be happening, but at least we could be like, well, at least in these last 8 months, I did better doing this, so I was able to do that. You know what I'm trying to say?
Don't be a bystander.
Yeah, literally.
Make some change in your own life. That's
facts.
Real. That's real.
Facts. But I mean, we love y'all. We appreciate you for tuning into another episode.
Indeed.
I promise the next time I come on here, I will have a retwist.
No more headband.
No more. Yo, chill.
Let's wrap it up.
Okay. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We will see y'all next week. Peace, blessings. Stay cool.
Yes.
Adios. Okay.
Peace out. See y'all. Bye.